Do you want to learn a method for innovation that doubles your present effectiveness? In this movie, I share with you the proven fourth innovation methodology to ideate disruptive new products, services, customer experiences, business models, and internal processes. You will get a full 45 minutes overview of the 15-week innovation journey with practical examples and 4 cases. After a 5-minute overview, I will explain you all the activities in depth of each island. Full steam ahead, observe and learn, raise ideas, test ideas, and homecoming. And I have as a bonus for you at the end, as we brought the fourth innovation method 100% online, I share with you the actual Miro boards to give you a great impression how an innovation journey 100% online looks like. Watch till the end and let's start straight away. Now, why did I make an innovation methodology? I made it even before the origin of YouTube in 2002. Before that I worked 15 years, both in industry as innovator, trying to innovate those big companies, but everybody tried to push me back, to stop me. And I thought, let's try it as consultants. So I was a consultant for 8 years. Again, with a lot of energy and a lot of inspiration, I tried to innovate those big companies, but it was my project and not theirs. And when I left, nothing materialized. So in 2002, 17 years ago, I said, I like to try to make those old elephants dancing again. So I studied creativity and design thinking for 2-3 years. And I thought, let's combine it with my personal hobby, because I was a travel book reader, and every good travel book starts with a map. That's why the fourth innovation methodology is an expedition in the form of a map. Now, what's the methodology about? It is a 15-week journey to come up with new products, or new services, or new business models, or new customer engagement experiences, or new process innovations. In 15 weeks, with an internal team, where your customer is connected, you return with business cases. 5 phases. The F, full steam ahead. The O, of observe and learn. The R, from raise ideas. The T, from test ideas. And the H, from homecoming. First, we make an innovation assignment. Where do we want to go? Do we want to go to the moon, to Antarctica, or to Mount Everest? Right? Get your focus right, because if you don't have any focus, you will go anywhere and end up nowhere. Then observe and learn, the most important part of the journey, because you are in operational excellence, focused for years, and now you have to get the blinders off again. Hello world, here we are again. And you connect here to customers. What are now relevant challenges for customers? Because your innovation must be a new solution for a relevant customer problem. Once you found out that, let's ideate. With an open mind, you go outside the box in an ideation workshop and you will come up with more than 1,000 ideas, guaranteed. End up with 15 new concepts, 15. And then, are they good or not? Well, let's ask customers. You test ideas, right? You get feedback on 15 concepts and then you choose the best ones. And the best ones you work out in a business case and you end up with a business case after 15 weeks. Who's using the methodology? Well, small companies, medium-sized companies like Bruil, a Dutch concrete and beton maker. With this, they have ideated 3D concrete printing, and they just opened their first factory of 3D concrete printing in Europe last year in the Netherlands. But also bigger companies like Huntsman, a big US-based chemical company, innovating now their product portfolio on every continent with the fourth innovation methodology. Or the Japanese tech giant NEC. They are doing several Ford projects, trying to transform a new technology into a real new solution for customers. Right? It is even used by public organizations like the UNHCR to innovate a refugee camp in Uganda to make it a better place for women and for children, for which they got a 2016 UNHCR Award for Excellence. Where can you find the methodology? Well, I've written books about it. So it all started with this book here, The Innovation Expedition, in English. It's still available in English on Amazon. But it has been translated in so many languages. La Expedición hacia la Innovación, in Spanish. A Russian book. A book in Turkish, The Innovation Civili. A book in Chinese, of course. And the recent book, La Spedizione per Innovare, in Italian and also in Japanese, right? In Japan it has been reprinted 3 times, and Japanese love the structured way of the methodology. So the methodology is also scientifically proven. By the Open University they studied 10 cases, and it appeared that out of all those business cases, 3/4 of them were launched on the market. So it's 3 out of 4. While in normal stage gate processes, the ratio is only 1 out of 3. So you really make your innovation process much more effective. Full Steam Ahead has 3 activities. An innovation focus workshop, a core team introduction meeting, and the kickoff workshop. The deliverables of this phase are the innovation assignment, the composing of an ideation team. You will have a forward planning, which is all in the departure document of the expedition. And then from the kickoff, you have identified 6 to 10 innovation opportunities, and you've identified potential target groups for observe and learn to identify customer frictions. Now, one powerful workshop or 4th is the starting workshop, the innovation focus workshop. If you try to innovate, you say, where can we go? We go there, 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 or there, or perhaps there. You spend all your resources and your time looking everywhere. And you can only do that in a rush because you have little time. So you will discover only this deep. And on the surface you find nothing. So that's why you should focus. At the end of the expedition, what do you want out of this? Right? That's what you do in the innovation focus workshop, where you compose a concrete innovation assignment. Why do we innovate? Is it because there's a crisis or because there's big opportunity? What are we looking for? Are we looking for products, services, business models, customer engagement experiences, new internal processes? And should they be evolutionary? Or do we want big jumps? Should they be revolutionary? For whom? For my present customers or for totally new customer groups? Where? Here in Crete? On Greece? In Europe? EMEA? Or are we looking for worldwide innovations? Now when? When do we want to have the products or services introduced in the market? Are we innovating now for 2021 or 2025? And most important of all, what are the criteria? How much revenues must a new innovation realize? How much margin? How much customers do we want to reach with this? And also the boundaries. How much innovation money can we invest in the total project? Right? So with this, you form a concrete innovation assignment where the management agrees about. So you can give a concrete assignment to the innovation team who knows what is expected from them. That's the result of the innovation focus workshop and the innovation assignment. Afterwards, you go for the team. Now we have the assignment. We know we want to go to the moon. Who is the best team there? Now, usually when you ideate on team, you say in the management team, oh, this one and this one and this one and this one and this one, and you get the usual suspects. I advise you to do it also in a different way. Why don't you call out for people to apply? Hey guys, we're doing this important innovation project. Who wants to be on it? And then I'll bet you get 50% names you did not expect it. Because in your company are wonderful, creative, and innovative people. Only you might not know them. So try to compose the team in a different way. Now, what makes a great innovation team? Of course, we all know diversity. Diversity in departments, diversity in age, diversity in experience, diversity in skills, diversity in capabilities. But the most important thing for an innovation team is tolerance. You must have stubborn people who are tolerant. Because the best solutions are not in the middle. The best solutions, are not consensus solutions. The best solutions are on the edges. And you must be tolerant to let others ideate and defend their projects on the edges. Because that's where the goal is, and not in the middle. Once you got the team, you invite them. But we don't only have an innovation team. We also have an extended team. So in a lot of companies, they have kind of a team, and you have the steering committee. You know that, steering committees? I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Why? People of my age, I am 60, sit there, and then you get a business proposal on, for example, blockchain. Blockchain. I don't know blockchain very well. So what do? I just ask a lot of questions. Because if I say yes, it will be my project. And do I want to run the risk? But I don't know blockchain very well. So, on Infourth, we take the steering group, we call them extended team, we take them with us on the journey. And a steering committee team member, I learn here about blockchain. I ideate about blockchain. I see how customers respond to it. And I'm a godfather of a business case on blockchain. So in the end, I am familiar with it. And the chance that I will say yes is so much bigger. That's why we take the steering committee on board of the journey. And we call them extended teams. So we have the core team and the extended team. Now on the kickoff, they get together and they discuss together the innovation assignment. Is this what we want? Are you all committing yourself to this? And when it's yes, we have to prepare ourselves for the next phase, because that's observe and learn. Observe and learn is the most important phase. It's not raise ideas, it's observe and learn. Why? If you don't get new insights, you won't get new ideas. And your business and your organization has been focused so long of doing things better and better and better and better and better and better and better. Until you find out that you have to innovate. You can't innovate with your blindness on. Observe and learn is necessary too. Hello world, here I am again. Wow. So this is essential to get new insights, to get an open mindset again. Now you can do that for your people, they have to do it themselves, right? How do they do it? They go out. You end full steam ahead with innovation opportunities. With a core team of 10 people, you have identified 10 innovation opportunities. For example, blockchain. You might do something with this new technology. So how does it work? As a core team member, I adopt blockchain. What do? I read about blockchain. I web search about blockchain. I drink, I eat, I dream blockchain. I go out to a blockchain conference. I go out to talk to a guru. I go for organizations who are leading blockchain. I'm going to talk to them. What is it? What is it to you? How is it adopting it? Is it easy to do or not? And I'm not going there to bring back ideas. No, it's a learning phase. This. Now, a good innovation is a simple solution to a relevant customer friction. Because when do you change your behavior? You only change your behavior when there's a problem or a challenge and you say, hey, wow, this is great. This solves my solution. I want this. So, again, we go out in observe and learn. Now we go out to potential customers. We don't ask them for ideas. We ask them to talk about their challenges, their problems. Now, this might be different in business to business than in business to consumer. In business to business, you can't invite everybody there to sit together. For example, you can't invite Adidas and Nike and Puma at the same table talking about their problems. No. You have to go out there alone. So we train the core team in the exploration preparation workshop. And we train them to do customer friction interviews. And everybody goes out to customers they identified and they come back with frictions those business to business customers will have the coming years. What are their challenges? What do they define as difficult? We should focus on that to come up with relevant solutions. Now, in business to consumer market, you can visit customers, you can shadow customers, or you can find them in focus groups. And they talk to you about their challenges. And the core team is there. In the same room, they can smell their customers. They can feel their emotions when they talk about their problems. So they really experience how relevant it is for them. When the customers leave, the core team comes to the table and together we identify customer frictions. Now, in a thought process like this, in business to business or business to consumer, we identify 50 or perhaps 100 customer frictions. But which ones are relevant for us? Now, we have here made the innovation assignment in step 1, full steam ahead. This is our goal. So we use the criteria for the innovation assignment to choose the best customer frictions, and only the best ones we take with us to the next island of raise ideas. In this process is 6 weeks. We have what we call observe and learn workshops. The core team goes out, identifies customer frictions, get learnings from their innovation opportunities, and they come back and they spend with the total team 4 times half a day, or sometimes a day, with the total team, including the decision makers. The only thing is, what do we learn? What do we learn? What do we learn about blockchain? Oh, they're using it there. Oh, there is no business model here. Interesting. Oh, these are the beginner's mistakes when you start using it. Oh, interesting. And this is how everybody learns and get insights. Of course, they already get ideas. And they write them down in this little notebook. So during the 6 weeks, they write them down. Now, when do you get your best ideas? The shower. While driving your car.
late at night. Early in the morning. Yes, also on the toilet. Then you get your best ideas and you write them down. So here, after these 6 weeks, being inspired by the Observe and Learn workshops, you go to the brainstorm already with a lot of ideas. This is how incubation works. Big challenge, incubation, learning, disruptive new ideas. Step 3, raise ideas. First of all, full steam ahead. We made an assignment. Then we started to observe and learn, get our blinders off. And we are now 7 weeks on the journey. And now it's time to ideate, because here we got new insight. The phase raise idea consists of 2 activities. First of all, the new product brainstorm, as says here, a 2-day ideation workshop. And then 1 day later, we improve the ideas in the first concept improvement workshop. The results, 500 to 750 ideas. But we like to underpromise. In reality, it are often more than 1,000 ideas. And then we go to 30 to 40 idea directions. And we have here 12 to 15 improved concepts with which we go to the next island, test ideas. Now let's talk about brainstorming. A lot of people have negative associations with brainstorming, because there's so many idea killers. Yes, but it already exists. That's not logical. We don't have time. Let's be heuristic. Our customers won't like it. It's too difficult to master. We won't like to make mistakes. We must stop these idea killers. How? By postponing our judgment. When we're innovating, we're making a new solution. When our mindset is in the existing normal, we evaluate it from the existing normal. And of course, a new solution is always strange. So postpone your judgment, because with your innovation, you will make a crazy solution a normal solution, because we are creating the next normal. The next reason why people don't like brainstorming is the problem of all the shouting people do, telling their ideas, and there's somebody up front there writing them down. There are 2 disadvantages here. First of all, the introverts get dominated by the extroverts. The extroverts shout all their solutions, and the introverts stay quiet. Normally the sales and marketing people shout, and the production and R&D people are silent. You recognize that? Second of all, when you want to brainstorm great ideas, what do? You look for a noisy environment, or you want it to be silent? In reality, it's about half-half. But there's half of the group gets irritated by all the noises and all the shouting. It stops their thinking. So that's why we don't brainstorm, we brainwrite. How does that work? I'll show you. Why? Because it's silent. At the brainstorm we have the core team of 10 to 12 people. the extended team of 5 people, and we can invite outsiders, people who know, for example, a lot about the subject, or are from the market where we are innovating for. They are market specialists, or they are very creative thinkers, and we invite them to make the brainstorm even more creative. The process is very structured. A lot of design thinking methodologies use a diamond. Diverging, getting a lot of ideas, and converging, choosing the best ones. In my experience, the problem of brainstorming and the challenge is to find the best ideas among all those hundreds you ideated. Therefore, you should spend twice as much time on converging and on diverging. Tack, 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 tack. Keep the tempo up, keep the energy high, and at the end, the divergent phase, with 15 to 20 people in the room, with 4 techniques, you can get more than 1,000 ideas. Really, have a look at the picture. So the 4th brainstorm ends with 12 to 15 concepts. And then a week later, you go to the next activity, the first concept improvement workshop. There you will improve the ideas, because getting a good idea, making a good idea, is like working on a diamond. A diamond is actually just a black stone, and then you get all the corners off, and then you really get shining or some break. It's the same with an idea. You have an idea and you change it, you polish it, you change it, you polish it, you change it, and in the end it starts shining, or not. So, first concept improvement workshop. Here you're going to make it better, and then at the end of this activity of the 4th innovation methodology, you will go to the next phase, test ideas. Step number 4, test ideas. When we first look at this island, we see 2 activities here. The activity of concept testing. And after you've done concept testing, there is the second concept improvement workshop. And it's called second because here on Raise Ideas we ended with the first concept improvement workshop. So it is ideate, improve, test, improve, make a business case. This is how you make an idea better and better and better and better and better. The output of this island are 3 to 5 improved and tested concepts. Tested at customers. I learned one important lesson, that you should offer the concepts when you compare them in the same way, that they only differ in content and not in the way you present them, because the way you present them influences the preference of the customer. In one project, the ideas in the real stage gate process after 4th, they were not so liked as much. And we wonder, how's that? And we went back to the customer and he said, yes, well, I choose it because it's made purple. and I just love purple. No, I don't like the concept, but purple, I like purple, so that's why I said it's a good idea. And I thought, oh, of course. So, in concept testing, present them in the same way and let only the content be different. Now, in business to business, you test different than in business to consumer. At Huntsman, we made concepts for the footwear industry. Now, we can't get Adidas and Skechers and Nike and Puma on one table discussing new concepts. It will be unbelievable. No. Top secret. So, as core team, you will go out in one-on-one meetings to your customers. Everybody presents the concept in the same way, and you get the feedback in the same way. In business to consumer, you can do that in a focus group. You invite 8 customers, they come, you present the concepts. And they hear from each other the results of the concepts, you might discuss it, and then you go to the next one. In fourth, we use a very simple format. A format you can download. You only have to ask a couple of questions. First of all, every concept in fourth starts with a customer friction. Now, do you recognize this customer friction, yes or no? Because if we don't solve a real problem, the concept is nice to have, so you won't really like it. Then, is the concept clear? Do you understand what it's about? The third one, is it attractive to you? A yes or no? And the fourth one, does this new concept fit our brand or our company? Or is the brand stretched too far? And will you lose us? We ask an overall rating, and then on the back we ask for tops and tips. Tops, what do you like about the concept and we should not change? And tips, this is what I don't like about the concept and this is how you can improve it. A very simple way to test concepts. Really works good. Once we get the feedback of all those customers on every concept, we start the second concept improvement workshop. The team is there, the innovation team and the extended team. We present all the results of the customers. And then we go into subgroups and we improve every concept based on the customer feedback. And afterwards, we select the best ideas. How do we do that? There are 2 aspects in selecting ideas. Attractiveness, feasibility. The attractiveness in fourth is clear. We started with a concrete innovation assignment. This is what we want. So, there's a clear understanding of how much revenues it must be, how much margin it should bring back, how much customers must like it to be preferable or not. So that's the attractiveness. The feasibility is simple. When we want it, can we realize this, yes or no? So we make 2 groups. The one group are the attractiveness and one group are the feasibility people. They each evaluate every concept. And then we got for every concept 2 ratings, one on attractiveness, one on feasibility. You make a nice graph, you plot them, and then you choose the 3 or 4 or 5 best ones. Then, at this workshop, we have made pairs of the innovation team, and each business case team looks for their concept they like to work on in the next phase, homecoming. Homecoming has 3 activities. First of all, we have 4 mini new business case workshops with the core team. Then we have the final presentation, the end presentation. And afterwards, on those business cases, which is decided that they will enter your R&D process, we will have a concept transfer workshop to really connect forth with your normal innovation process to make an implementation plan. So the deliverables of the fourth innovation method are, first of all, 3 to 4, 5 million new business cases. It is an innovative mindset at the people joining the journey, and you have an effective innovation process implemented in your organization. In 4 mini new business case workshops, pairs of the innovation team will work each on 1 business case. So it's very simple. With an innovation team of 6, you can develop 3 business cases. 8, 4, and with 10 people, you can draft 5 mini new business cases. Why? In pairs, it works really good. You pair an R&D guy with a marketing lady, or you pair a saleswoman with a production guy. Right? In this way, you have a 360 capability and skilled team there. That's why you work out business cases in pairs. Why business cases? Because management might ask, bring me new ideas. But what they are interested in is not the ideas. They are interested in, will it bring revenue? Will it bring contribution margin? Will it bring profits? Will it bring me new customers? So it's about the results. That's why it's great if you present an idea. It's great if you have a nice customer journey, or if you present personas who are customer groups, or even if you make a wonderful movie on the prototype. But be sure to accompany that with a good, solid business case. In the history of Fourth, we made a wonderful, simple structure for the business case. As you can see, 6 steps, perhaps 10 to 15 slides. 1. What is the customer friction we are solving? 2. This is our new concept. 3. This is the benefit for the customer, because why should he change? 4. Can we make it? Yes, we can. 5. This is what we get in terms of revenues, profits, customers. And this is the way we continue. If you say yes, management, it will mean that you will invest $200,000 in this project, and we will free 2 people to work 2 years, and we will do these and these and these and these activities. And these are the uncertainties we still have to check. Why? Because we're still at the front end of innovation. This business case doesn't give certainty. It gives a clear direction in which we want to move. And of course, during the R&D process, which might be in industrial companies still 2, 3 or 4 years, these are the points which are really relevant. So we must investigate it. That's what a mini new business case is about. At the end presentation, we delivered 3, 4 or 5 business cases. Now, how do we get support? Well, remember we have the extended team and the core team. The extended team are the decision makers. In each final phase, we ask each of the extended team member to be godfather of one of the business cases. So the leadership team is connected to those business cases. It means that they will not be surprised at the end presentation because they are kind of grandfather or grandmother of a business case. So this is how you build support. The leadership team has been on this journey.
They discovered customer insights. They brainstormed with us. They have seen how customers responded, and they are godfather of a business case. And that's why, in the end, they support our findings and they understand what we mean. There is trust that the business case will deliver. And this is how you get support. A few years ago, I added another workshop, the concept transfer workshop. Because you must really connect at the end of this project into your normal procedures. And it will take 1 or 2 months to get an implementation team to take care of the innovation delivery of the project. And in a concept transfer workshop, people from the 4 team and the implementation team get together, and together they make the implementation plan. So you're sure that the spirit, the insights and the deliverables of 4th are really well understood by the people who will implement the innovation delivery. In the end, 4 delivers great, good business cases. I told you the story of Brel. They brought back 5 mini new business cases. I'd like to give you 2 examples of business cases for Brel. One of them is evolutionary. It is the tiling glue silo. And the other one is revolutionary. It is 3D printing of concrete. The evolutionary one was developed within 1.5 years. And instead of delivering tiling glue in bags, which the tiler has to mix with water and then apply on the floor, they delivered the tiling glue in a silo, where automatically the water came in. And there was an automatic mixer. And he could put in just his wheelbarrow below it and have ready to mix tiling glue on the floor. It saved him 1 person in the tiling glue team. And that's why tilers increased their profit with this tiling glue. And Brel has tripled their market share in the tiling glue for floors the last 4 years. Well done. The other one is really revolutionary. There was this dream of making beautiful concrete facades, but now in prefab concrete, for every specific facade there must be made a mold, handmade, with wood. And you pour in the concrete and then you wait 2 weeks. Now, isn't it a bit crazy? Because the architects design in the computer, and then you go from 3D again to 2D. Hand job. Couldn't we automate this? And yes, they did. They worked more than 4 years on the 3D printing of concrete. And now they just opened the first 3D printing factory of architectonical concrete in the Netherlands. Congratulations, Brel. And this is what it has done to the company. 5 years ago, it was in real trouble. And now it's one of the most innovative companies in the building sector in the Netherlands. Because that's what Ford did with them. It changed their mindsets. They saw opportunities again. And they did R and do. Not R&D, R and do. Because innovation only happens when you take action. And it's now available 100% online with great success. The online collaboration platforms we use are, for example, Trello or Miro or Mural. And for communication, we use WebEx, Zoom or Microsoft Teams. I'm going to show you some boards from these 4 innovation online journeys. So this is full steam ahead. We make an innovation assignment and we have a kickoff. Then we go to the next island, observe and learn. We identify new opportunities and we discover customer frictions. Then we go to the island, raise ideas. In the idea generating phase, we generate, for example, here, 1,314 ideas, which we convert online to 50 new concepts. Then we go to the island test ideas, where we test them with potential customers. And finally, it's the island of homecoming, where we make 3 to 5 new business cases. It's available online. It's a journey online of around 10 weeks with 25 shorter workshops.
If you want more information on how to do it online, on the fourth innovation method, on an online training, and on certified facilitators who can help you on this journey, look at fourth-innovation.com. Wish you a lot of success with your online innovation journeys.